Hello everyone, welcome to a new disc golf video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my top 3 best discs for left-handed disc golfers. Now these 3 discs that I'm going to share with you today, righties and lefties will both have these types of discs in their bag, but lefties in particular are going to need to rely on these types of discs more than righties. And these are going to be more of your workhorse discs as a left-handed disc golfer. So let's go ahead and jump into the first one. So the first disc is the Fuse by Latitude 64, and really any understable mid-range, whatever you prefer. As a lefty, an understable mid-range is going to be crucial to execute shots that are going to end to the left on your backhand for all those short to medium distance shots. A lot of shots in the woods or just in general will slightly finish to the left, and having something like a Fuse or an understable mid-range from another brand, you're going to be able to flip it up and have it end to the left on your backhand, which is a really useful shot for a left-handed disc golfer and something that you're going to need and is really difficult to accomplish with a forehand. There are a lot of shots that you can kind of throw an overstable forehand approach disc and have it fade really hard to the left, but there are a lot of shots out there with the way courses are designed that very slightly finish to the left, and a forehand can't really accomplish that shot as well as a turnover backhand. And so having a mid-range, something that you can throw on short holes or medium distance holes, is really important for a lefty. So yeah, the first disc, understable mid-range, I highly recommend the Fuse from Latitude 64. The next disc is a workhorse fairway driver, and for me, that's the Felon from Dynamic Discs. As a lefty, you really want to find a fairway driver that you can backhand and forehand that is somewhat neutral. Now this Felon is beat in a lot and is pretty straight to understable at this point. So on a backhand, I can get it to flip up and go pretty straight, and on a forehand, I can get it to turn over and hold lines for me. So the Felon accomplishes that, and I would highly recommend as a lefty finding a disc that you can both backhand and forehand to be your workhorse fairway driver. There are a lot of disc golfers who do this with 2 molds. They have a forehand disc and a backhand disc. If you can find a disc that you can throw both forehand and backhand and accomplish those straight lines with the opposite fade with the forehand and the backhand, you're going to have a lot of success in general. It doesn't matter if you're a lefty or a righty. But as a lefty, if you can really master one mold and get comfortable with the feel on a forehand and on a backhand, then you're going to have a lot of success. I like the Felon. These take a while to beat in to get straight, but you can maybe throw something like a Thunderbird or like an Explorer. It's really just any fairway disc that you're going to be comfortable backhanding and forehanding to accomplish a lot of lines for you. This slot can be covered by a wide variety of discs. This is just the one that I use. A lot of Felons won't fly like this one, but there are plenty of options out there like I already mentioned. So if you can find a neutral to point and shoot type fairway disc that you can really manipulate backhand and forehand, you're going to be set. And it really all comes down to feel and what you're comfortable with. So there are a lot of things to try. My favorite is the Felon. I've got 4 different Felons with all different stabilities that kind of do it, and it's my only fairway driver. I only bag 1 fairway driver, and I have one that's like super flippy, then I have one that's super overstable, and they all feel the same, and it's great. So I became really comfortable with the Felon, and I've had a lot of success backhand and forehand with this disc. If you can find a disc that is similar to this, I highly recommend trying to find a mold that you can backhand and forehand to really be a workhorse fairway driver for you. The last disc is an understable distance driver. I've got the Grace from Latitude 64, but really a number of discs can accomplish this. And if you have a different arm speed, then this may not be the best for you. But for me and my arm speed, this is very understable. And I don't have it in my bag right now. I actually use a beat up Raider for this slot, but you can really accomplish this with a number of different molds from a lot of different manufacturers. Really, as a lefty, what you want is something that you can just throw super long anhyzers with or steep hyzer flips with, because it's really going to be clutch for you on those distance shots where righties can kind of throw these huge hyzers or like hyzer flip and then turn. You can match that if you don't have forehand distance with an understable distance driver, and you can have a lot more distance with a backhand a lot of the time than a forehand. There are obviously players who throw forehands way farther than their backhand, but I feel like the majority of players can throw a backhand farther than your forehand, and you really want an understable distance driver to try to throw those big turnovers or some tight hyzer flip lines in the woods. Something like the Grace, maybe a Wraith or a Hades or something like that that you can match those righty lines. I can't really express how important this slot in particular is as a lefty. There are a lot of times I've played with other left-handed disc golfers in tournaments or things like that where they really don't have like a really understable disc that they're able to turn all the way over. They'll try to throw something that's a bit too stable and it'll end up hyzering out and get them in trouble. So having something like this that's reliably understable in the distance category is huge for a lefty. Obviously, if you have a big forehand, you don't necessarily need this, but there are some shots that a backhand can execute that a forehand simply can't match. And I think it's really apparent in that understable distance driver lineup. So I would highly recommend checking out an understable distance driver that for your arm speed, you can get to hyzer flip and turn over for you. So that is my list of the top 3 discs for left-handed disc golfers. Obviously, there are so many discs that are important being left-handed and right-handed. You really want a balanced disc golf bag, but these 3 discs, these types of discs in particular, I think are really important to be a workhorse in a left-handed disc golfer's bag. So if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss when I upload next. If you have any questions or you want some disc recommendations, definitely go ahead and comment down below. I'll be happy to answer those questions for you guys. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.